Welcome to Gabbin' and Games for Thursday, someday in January. I think it's the 4th. In fact, I'm absolutely sure it's the 4th. Welcome to the show. One moment. I gotta sneeze. Achoo! You goddamn right. There's a little intro for you fellas. Hello, happy Thursday to you, Prince Green. Let me know if the audio is low. Somebody in the chat is saying that it's low. That's Toxmod. Let me know. In the meantime, welcome to the show. It's great to see everybody. It's great to have you here on Thursday. Boy, I had a rough day. I really did. I'm not going to fuck with you. I had a day where I was, let's just say, I don't go to therapy a lot, but I went to therapy today, and it was one of those days where if you've ever been, it really sometimes takes a toll. Like it's like I'm exhausted. It's like you dig deep down and you deal with a bunch of shit, and then you're done and you're like, oh my God, it feels like you've gone, fucking 15 rounds with Mike Tyson in his prime. How would I fucking know what that's like? I would not survive a single punch. I could probably take it. I get, it's kind of a common question, but people say, how much would you get paid? In his prime, if I knew I wouldn't die or sustain any serious damage, I would take a punch in the face from Mike Tyson in his prime for $100,000. Absolutely. Tax free. Certainly I'd try to, get more if I could. But yeah, how much sleep did I get last night? Says Prince Green. A decent amount, not a great amount. I was woken up at 3 a.m. because my kid couldn't sleep, and they're like, Dad, I need your iPad. I'm ordering DoorDash. I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm a little sleepy. Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody cares about your fucking day, Jaffe. We come here to escape our pain. Just like you go to Cheese Pizza to escape it, we come here, and I'm here for you, babies. Good to see everybody. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff today going on in the world of the video games. Have I seen the list, the Epstein list? No. I've looked. I saw Copperfield was on it and stuff like that. It's not really a list, but I kind of looked at a little bit of it, but I'm kind of waiting for more of it to come out. But it's, none of it's a surprise. It's all a fucking tragedy. It seems like Trump is on there a lot. It seems like Bill Clinton's on there a lot. But that's the kind of stuff we talk about, by the way, tomorrow on Good Morning Gaming. That is our new morning show, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, around 10 o'clock, 10:30, give or take. That's where we talk about geek adjacent video game stuff. Gets a little weird, gets a little off topic. It's more of a chill show, less of a planned show, but that's coming up tomorrow if you want to hang out with us and watch that at 10:30. But we'll probably talk about the Epstein list a little bit if there's some good breaking news. I did see Stephen Hawking was there, but what's he really going to do? I mean, Stephen Hawking was apparently on Epstein's island, but I'm like, okay. I mean, it's like he was all over me. I couldn't get away, really. I mean, it doesn't make it any less illegal or less creepy, but it's like, really? Stephen Hawking? But I know apparently he went to strip clubs a lot. He was a ladies' man. So, there you go. But I'm sure there are some people right now that are absolutely, as they should be, swimming in their own sweat and shit going, oh my God, my life is over. As it should be. Go fuck yourself. Not everybody on the list is guilty, guys. That's insane if you think that says serve. Yeah, there is no list. There's just a bunch of documents from the court cases where people were saying, hey, this witness saw this person at this location doing that. So, it is what it is. We'll see where it goes. But anyway, welcome to Gabbin' and Games. The first thing I want to talk about today, oh my God. Awesome Tatum says, the Stephen Hawking voice, take off your pants. Come on now. That is not couth. The first thing I want to talk about, I'm not going to get into it too much, but somebody asked me in the Discord, what did I think about this Sky News Tetris gate, which is not really anything. I mean, it is what it is. I'll show it to you. I'm not going to play you the clip because I don't want to get a copyright strike, which I'm sure they're kind of going after people. I got to tell you guys a story about that real quick. But anyway, you saw this story, right? This kid, he's 13. He got to the kill screen on NES Tetris, which apparently is a pretty big deal. I mean, I certainly couldn't do it. I don't know if he's the first person to ever do it or he was the first person to just record it. But anyway, this British journalist lady goes on the television set and she says, She says, well, whatever. The kid should go outside and get some fresh air and not play video games so much. And she pretty much just sort of poo-pooed it and kind of shit all over it and kind of made it like, oh, these dumb geek gamers. And it's like, Gene Park of the Washington Post commented, I think he said it best. He's like, look, I don't know how old this woman is, but it's like there's a generation that has to die out, or a couple of generations that have to die out, where they still just can't, they're never going to get fixed. They just didn't come up with games, whether it was an age thing or whether it's just they were of age, but they didn't play them. And they're still in that mindset. But, in one or two new generations, no one's going to think this shit. So I don't really think it's a story. I think, whatever. I mean, who gives a shit? Fuck her. I mean, the guy did great. Good for him. But I mean, there was a survey I saw recently that said actually most gamers are more social in the not doesn't mean all. Doesn't mean the stereotype's not there for a reason. But they said most gamers actually do have real life friends and actually do get out of the house more than a lot of other people with hobbies. So fuck this lady. What's her name? Kirsty Archer. Fuck her. No, that's not her. Her name is Jane Secker. Come on now. Hello, Nero. Nero just subscribed. Thank you, buddy. We appreciate that. Kids should have been like, you sound like you need to get laid, bitch, says Serve. I added the bitch because that's a little color commentary. Yeah, no, I know. Apparently the guy's dad just died, according to the chat. Serve said the kid also lost his dad recently. Let him handle his grief how he wants. Well, even so, even if he's not handling his fucking grief, he should be able to play a fucking video game and be left alone and celebrate his moment. But whatever. It's not a big deal. I mean, this if the woman was 23 and it's like, okay, what are you doing? But this is clearly a woman a little younger than me. She clearly didn't come up playing the game. She, fuck her. It's kind of like when these reporters these days report on the UFOs and they're like, there are still reporters out there that'll be like, oh, little green men. It's like, shut the fuck up, motherfucker. There are valid, whether they're from outer space or not is TBD, but there are valid questions and news stories to cover. And if you're not serious enough to cover the goddamn UAP story, go fuck yourself. That's what I would say. Hey there, FNV Blaze, my friend from the back end. Hi, Dave. He says, didn't know you streamed. Twisted Metal was a huge part of my childhood. Loved playing 1 and 2 on my PS1 back in the day, and also loved Black and Head-On. On behalf of all the people who worked with us and made those games with me, I appreciate it. Thank you, buddy.
We're just normal men.
You goddamn right.
Innocent men.
You goddamn right. How about the black guy? Jesus, what does it matter if he's black? How about, I'm not getting into politics today. But here's what the guy says. This is Aegis Mind says, how about the black guy tackling the court judge in Vegas? Whether or not the motherfucker's black or not is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Why is that the first thing out of your goddamn mouth? But listen about that, though. I don't know if you saw it, but that was pretty impressive, though. I don't know. I mean, she denied him bail, and all you see, if you haven't seen this, and again, we'll get to video games in just a second, but this was like a fucking video game. It's like GTA. She's sitting there on the bench, and suddenly, out from the bottom right of the frame, he leapt like a goddamn lion. Like, I've never seen a human being vault that high and that far from one jump. He clearly didn't get a running start because the bailiffs would have stopped him. And he literally cleared the desk and landed center where the judge was. Obviously, they came in and got him really quick, but my goodness gracious, man, that's something. That's fucking something. But I would be one of those guys. You guys have seen the footage where, the child molester gets arrested or the child murderer gets arrested and the parents are in court. Fuck everybody else. I would shoot that motherfucker if I could sneak a gun in. And if I couldn't, you goddamn right, I would attack him. I don't give a fuck. Aegis Mind says, sorry, Jaffe, I'm the guy that was watching you while showering. I mean, you were taking a shower and watching the show a few weeks ago, and you told me to fondle myself. Good. You should. I mean, why wouldn't you, is my question. But that doesn't mean you can be racist. Okay. Controller Sports talking about this lady here says, someone who sits inside for a living just reading what other people wrote, telling someone to go outside is pretty funny. Well, I thought you were talking about me for a minute. Mr. Seven Digit says, I'm not worried about the black guy. I'm worried about the incompetent bailiffs. Well, that was weird that he was able to do that and get away with it. So Easy says, I just saw the video. He was actually able to get a hold of her for a few seconds. The judge. Yeah, absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Brett Williams has been a member for 15 months.
Everybody hates you, and I'm glad your husband died. He probably killed himself.
Thank you, buddy. You know I appreciate it. He says, Jaffe, you old so-and-so. I don't know why I'm still here since you hate Kratos now, but whatever. Fuck you. I don't hate Kratos. I'm so tired of these people. And you know the worst part about it? The worst part about it is this, is that, clearly there was a site that gets a lot of traction, and you can always tell suddenly all of their members are rushing over like they're trying to get me in the comments. And I'm just like, guys, my take on Kratos in both of those videos, you don't have to agree with it, but it was articulated. It was mostly calm. It was well positioned, well thought out. Just say you disagree. The ones I appreciated were the ones who showed up and actually offered some contrarian points in a logical way. But the ones that show up and it's like, you're dumb. You like character development. You don't like character development. You want Kratos to be one-dimensional. I'm like, no, I never, ever, ever said that. You fucking uneducated fucking... I don't like those people. Jaffe, are you going to show us the horror game this time? No, but I'm going to show it soon. Okay. All right, let's move forward. I want to talk to you guys about this trailer, which I haven't even watched today. Like I said, I was doing some therapy and I was very busy today, and I apologize for that. I'm not as well prepared as I usually am for this show. So we're doing it without a net today, boys and girls, and I hope you can hang in there with me. But Sony dropped a trailer this morning of upcoming games in 2024 for the PlayStation 5, and I thought we would start with that. But before I tell you that, before we watch that together, I do want to tell you that I heard from a source today, and I'm not going to tell you who it is, but they're very well positioned. I put a video up on YouTube that got taken down about the Insomniac leaks. This is great. I just love this. It got taken down and it got a copyright strike. So my channel, for the first time in over a decade, has a copyright strike, and it'll go away in a couple of months, but it's still annoying. Okay. And all I did on this video, if you got a chance to see it, is I talked about the Insomniac leak, and the only thing I showed were the documents, 2 slides showing that Ratchet & Clank, which I think is one of the best games ever made, Rift Apart, and certainly Insomniac's best game, out of all the games they've made recently, that's the one that lost money. And that's what I was talking about the fact that, oh my God, these amazing games that are beloved and wonderful and classics can't even break even. What is going on with Sony's inability to sell those kinds of games? That's what the video was mostly about. Well, it got a copyright strike, and it got it from this company, some company in the UK. That's what I want to tell you about. But anyway, but as you know, you can go on to NeoGAF, you can go on to Instagram, you can go on to IGN. The leak has been covered. There have been pictures posted. The videos are still up on YouTube of the Wolverine gameplay. There is absolutely not this massive takedown that we saw Rockstar do with GTA when it comes to Insomniac Sony with Wolverine. So I was like, whatever, who cares? Well, this source comes to me today, and they say, you know, they feel this is true. I told them I was going to talk about it, but I'm not going to say it's 100% true because I don't want to throw any accusations. But what I heard was that the company that nobody's censoring super chats, Twisted Sith. What are you talking about? The company that did the copyright strike, according to this person, you can kind of discover this if you go down the Google rabbit hole. Apparently, it's a front company that Sony uses. They don't even really exist. They have an address in the UK, and they are there to go around whenever anybody is bad-mouthing Sony and kind of try to massage the messaging. Now, is that true? I don't fucking know, like I said, but this person's well positioned to know, and I was very surprised to hear that. So I says to the person, I says, well, then if that's the case, there's only one of two things that could be happening. The first thing that could be happening is I just got caught in a random dragnet and whatever. Or they literally were like, you know what, even though Jaffe's showing the least egregious stuff, we don't like him because of his stream or his politics or whatever, or we don't like what he's saying because we don't want anybody focusing on Sony. I don't know. My point is, it could have been targeted or it could not have been targeted. It could have been random. But according to this person who would know, it's not a real fucking company. It's a fucking front company. So I thought that was really offensive and annoying, but very par for the course for certain PR people that I know at Sony. Let's say that. There's one PR person I know at Sony that I just find intolerable. And even the people who work with this individual find them intolerable, but, you know, it is what it is. And I don't put it past them to do that kind of personal shit. But it also could just be random. Twisted Sith, thank you, buddy, for the super chat, or being a member, more importantly, for 22 goddamn months, sir. He says, wow, censoring super chats now, Jaffe, that's lame as fuck. I didn't censor shit. If you're ever watching this channel, or if you're ever looking at comments and you're like, my comment, Jaffe took it down. I take hate speech down, and sometimes I get annoyed at just contrarian fucks who are there just to stir the pot. Sometimes I'll take that down, but very rarely. I don't take down super chats or chats in general. I just get rid of hate speech. Yeah, Mr. K says YouTube auto censors. That is true. All right. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It's 2 minutes. Let's watch it together, and then let's talk about it on the flip side. This is the video that Sony put out today, 2024 upcoming games. Let's see if we're excited about any of this stuff. All right, the first one that came up was Final Fantasy Rebirth. I know there is a group out there that gives a shit about this, but I don't think they're as big as they used to be. I honestly probably will never play Final Fantasy Rebirth. People just say, I don't know. I don't know. Is it just me? I mean, it's not as big as it used to be. I'm just not that interested, but maybe you guys are super excited. Helldivers 2 is the next one. Check it out. I mean, Helldivers 2 looks like fun, but it doesn't look like $40 fun. The fact that it's $40 to pay for the base game, and you still got to have 3 friends or 2 friends that have it to play with friends, and the non-base game is $60, you're out of your goddamn mind. The only way I'm dropping $40 on Helldivers is if it gets a lot of great reviews and people I know who I play online games with also buy it. Fuck you, miscellaneous gaming vids. I'm not going to crap on every game. I'm going to fucking be a goddamn man and say what I think and not be a goddamn fucking bitch who sits around and feels like they have to rah-rah for $1 billion fucking company. Suck it down, motherfucker.
Go suck a
Goddamn right.
big fucking dick.
Tekken 8. I think Tekken 8, the demo is out. If you want to play it, Tekken 8 looks great. Hey, I made a rhyme, but I suck at these kinds of games. So it's not for me, but I definitely think, you know, people who love Tekken and love fighting games are going to be very happy. Stellar Blade, I don't know. It looks cool. I need to get more data on this game. I've seen every trailer they've released. I'm glad it's coming out this year, but I'm still 50-50 on this. 50-50 on this. Because, you know, it could be one of those games that's like the next Bloodborne, or it could be one of those games that's like, remember that era of Xbox One? I think it was one where they had like Phantom Blade or all these they kind of were janky controlling melee combat kind of things. And they were cool looking, but they were kind of very, very niche. I don't know if that's this, or if that is more, if this is more like a Bloodborne or whatever. Rise of the Ronin is up next. I'm going to tell you something. I was kind of whatever on this at first. But then somebody said, no, this is like Bloodborne or Dark Souls, but meets Ghost Tsushima. And even though I'm terrible at those kinds of games, I love them. My favorite game of all time is Elden Ring. Bloodborne is in my top 10. I'm sure I will play this and love it and never come close to finishing it. But this is Rise of the Ronin, and that's pretty exciting. That's a Sony exclusive or third-party exclusive on the... I don't know who... I know it's not a first-party game. It might be second-party, but I don't think so. No, it's fucking Ninja guys, right? Team Ninja did this. Okay. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. Everybody's getting that. Probably not. This is kind of like a Ubisoft game for me. I hear it plays good, it's fun, but it gets repetitive. I'll kind of wait and see what the reviews are and what the hype is on this one. But right now, I'm not that interested. Come and get it. Loud explosion. Come and get it. Like a Dragon, again, I get it. If you're into that, if you're into the Yakuza stuff, this looks awesome. Not for me, but I know a lot of people love this shit, which is great. This, Prince of Persia, we talked about this the other day. This I'm super excited for. This is absolutely day one. Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. It's basically Metroidvania meets Prince of Persia. It looks great. If you watch some of the long plays that Game Informer have put out, they got to spend 3 hours with the game. The platforming looks really fun and unique. The combat looks deeper than just hack and slash. I'm super excited for Prince of Persia Lost Crown. Very curious if a 2.5D game can cut it in this day and age. I think it's only $40. And it's like, 20 to 25 hours, Bill Bones, is what I heard. So I'm excited. I'm excited for this one. Concord. Okay. Nobody knows what the fuck this game is. This is coming out. That's a $50 game, Prince of Persia? Oh, God. Oh, then no, fuck it. I'm going to just subscribe to Ubisoft Plus for a month and play it. Concord is the Sony exclusive first-party something, but they haven't really shown anything. So this is what they showed a year ago or so, and so I still don't really know what to think about this. Pacific Drive is going to be on everything. I'll probably play it on PC, but that's coming to PlayStation. That's the kind of survival horror in a car game. I don't know what it is, but it looks kind of interesting. Okay, Silent Hill 2 we'll talk about in just a second, but Silent Hill 2 from Bloober Team is on here. I'm not that excited, but we'll talk about it in a minute. Like, I'm more excited for Pacific Drive than Silent Hill. Let's put it that fucking way. Dragon's Dogma, super excited for. Again, that's going to be on a bunch of systems. I never played the first one. I didn't understand the whole Avatar system. Now I do. This game sounds fucking awesome, and I'm very, very excited. Forever Skies. What the fuck is this? I don't know what the fuck Forever Skies is. The Plucky Squire looks great. Cannot wait for it to come out. But these are all indie games that I think are going to be on everything. Foam Stars, I played the alpha or the beta. I did not give a fuck about this game. In fact, I could not get through a single match of Foam Stars because the visuals were so loud and confusing and visually noisy that I could not tell what the fuck was happening in this game. Yes, I'm 52. I'm an old goddamn man. Maybe if you're 13, this is the next Splatoon. This is the preteen junior high version of Splatoon. I don't fucking know. I like the idea of it, but no fucking, not for me, no thank you. Maybe it'll be your cup of tea. The casting of Frank Stone. Oh, I thought it said Frank Stallone. Ha! The casting of Frank Stone, I'm very excited for. This is set in the Dead by Daylight universe, but by one of the best horror developers out there. It ain't Bloober Team, boys. It's, what are they called? Supermassive. The guys who did the Until Dawn and the Quarry and the Dark Pictures Anthology. I'm a big fan of these guys, even though they've missed sometimes. They hit more than they miss. This looks pretty cool, the casting of Frank Stone. Was Frank Stone a porn star? I don't fucking know. I don't know porn stars in general. I certainly don't know the male porn stars. So not anything's wrong with that, but it's just not my cup of the tea. Metal Gear Solid, come on now. I never finished Snake Eater, but I loved it, what I played, and I'm looking forward to this. Visually, it looks, I mean, it's Unreal 5, Metal Gear Solid, Snake Eater remake. How can you not love it? It's exciting. I am going to get this, Last of Us Part 2 remastered. I'm excited for it because I never finished the first game, but I absolutely loved it. So I will absolutely be playing this. Last of Us Part 2 remastered. Looks great. Can't wait. And there you go. That's Sony's... I'm sure there'll be some surprises and other stuff, but that's kind of what they're showing us for 2024. It's solid. It's not too shabby, right? It's pretty good. I don't go, oh my fucking God. But you know, let's put it this way. If these three are the big dark horses, right? Rise of the Ronin, Helldivers 2, and Stellar Blade, if 2 out of 3 of these are, like, I'm on the fence with all 3 of these. They all look potentially great, and they all look like they could be just like, eh. But if 2 of 3 of them are like, whoa, that was fucking awesome, then we're off to the fucking races with PlayStation. But I agree, JM, he says most of my third-party purchases are on PC and Xbox. I agree. Absolutely. Oh, fuck, I am totally into Plucky Squire. MTTO says, I thought you would be into Plucky Squire. I am. It's just that that's like a third party that might be Game Pass day one. It'll be on PC. I don't really associate that. Now, let's be clear. Maybe I'm in the minority here because Magnum Westward says Sony has really shit the bed. Apparently, he's not impressed by this trailer. I don't think it's a great fucking trailer. I don't think it's like, oh my God, I am so fucking glad I got myself a PlayStation 5. I think it's cool. It looks solid. But I'm not, coming in my pantyhose about it, but it looks good. Listen now, where did that thing go? A clip says it looks like a good year for third-party releases. Barely any info on first party. I mean, you got a little bit in terms of exclusives. Final Fantasy, Ronin, Helldivers, Stellar Blade, those are all exclusive. So that's kind of good. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Whatever. Masochista says, just give me more Starfield. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to Starfield, the new the DLC that comes out. When does Black Myth Wukong come out? I think that comes out this year as well. I don't know what it took to get on this list because it's not exclusive. Like Prince of Persia is coming to everything, right? So I'm not entirely sure what, why other games that we know are coming out this year, like Black Myth, is not on the list. So I couldn't tell you what the criteria is. As for Silent Hill, here's what I want to tell you about the trailer. Like, okay, so Bloober Team has lost my faith. I used to say that Bloober Team or Team Bloober, whatever the fuck they're called, was hit and miss. Now 90% of the time they're miss, right? And in the time since, I've played some things. I've played some things from Supermassive, which I don't think they are reinventing the game, but they make very entertaining, solid horror games. I played Devotion from Red Candle Games, which you can only get on their site because none of the other sites will carry it because of China. One of the best horror games I've ever played. And then something I will be talking about later this week is a demo for a horror game I played a couple of nights ago, which, if the demo is reflective of the final game, is the best horror game, scariest horror game I've ever played. On top of that, you've got Layers of Fear, which also came from Bloober. That's the only thing they've ever made that was great. And you've got things like Madison, which was wonderful. So no, I'm sorry. I do not bow at the altar of Silent Hill 2. It's a nostalgia play. The brand is only as strong as how good the games are that come. And here's how I know it, because as bad as Silent Hill Ascension was, and it was pretty fucking bad, I tried to hang in there and I couldn't. I can't imagine anybody is still showing up at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock and watching today's episode of Silent Hill Ascension. Who gives a shit? That franchise was not enough to push that into anybody's wow, I love this game list of 2023. So I don't think Silent Hill 2, I'm just certainly not excited about it at all. I'm open-minded. I'm open to being surprised, but come on now. Come on now. The developer is not anyone to write home about, and nothing they've like. If you want to get me excited about Silent Hill, not that that's their job, but if you wanted me to be excited about what they showed, they wouldn't just show a high-res version of Silent Hill. Of course, they would show that, and we would go, okay, that's a lot of what they show, but they would also show a couple of things where it's like, whoa, okay, that's fucking freaky. That's fucking cool. That's a fucking cool take on Silent Hill 2. Instead, it's just like, okay, it's a high-res version of what we've, already seen. Before I knew Heavenly Skull,
how dare you?
He lived in my dream. Dear, very expensive YouTube firm that I pay a lot of money every month to help me grow my channel, why do people not watch my stream? Dear Jaffe, stop fucking singing, you idiot. Yeah, I know. Heavenly Skull has just ponied up the ducats, which I really appreciate, buddy. That's the highest you can be on this here channel, unless you watch Pop and Popcorn with us. He's become a god of war. He has gone clear. He has ascended. He is in the process of crossing the bridge. Heavenly Skull will still soon be face-to-face with Xenu, and he will know all of the goddamn cockadoodie secrets. Buddy, thank you for that. Thank you for that generosity. Please send me anything you want me to pimp or hawk or talk about. Send me a picture, whatever you want me to put up. So every single goddamn time I do a show and we talk about the gods of war, you will be on that list and I can promote whatever you want to promote. I appreciate it, buddy. All right. Listen to this now. Listen to this. Stop the Clown says, I never played Last of Us 2 because I was crazy anti-social justice warrior at the time. Jesus. It came out, so I didn't play it. I'm actually excited for a remaster because it's probably going to be the best way to play it. I'll tell you what, if you're around tomorrow, Stop the Clowns, this isn't the show for it, but if you're around tomorrow and you're watching the morning show where people call in. I want to know what occurred to cause you to go from an anti-SJW progressive to become a not that. I'd love to know that, but I don't want to get into it here because people get mad on Gabbin' Games when I get into politics, which I appreciate. But tomorrow, though, game on. I'm dying to know. But thank you for that comment, and Heavenly Skull, thank you, seriously. It's really generous, buddy. All right, let's move on. Well, we already talked about this. Silent Hill remake confirmed for 2024, along with Metal Gear. That's good news. That's a lot of fun. Now, listen to this. These are the most anticipated games of 2024. I have not looked at this, okay? I want to look at it with you guys and girls for the first time, and I want to see if we agree. Because I know a lot of my most anticipated games are, I'd say 60-70% of them are more indie games or AA games. There's a couple AAA games. So let's see what's on this list, shall we, boys? Let's get a little traveling music as we travel down the list. No. I can't help but be racist. It's true. You goddamn right. Okay, here we go. Donovan says, I think it's going to be an off year. It might be because last year was so goddamn good. I get it. Here we go. Prince of Persia Lost Crown. Scale of 1 to 10, I'm at a 9 of excitement for this. I'm very excited. I'm day one. This is Game Rant's first most anticipated game of 2024. At the moment, I'm right there with him. I didn't say, I said boys and girls, fellas, Follettis. Come on now. All right. Tekken 8. I don't give a shit about Tekken 8. So for fans, I'm sure they're jumping out of their pantyhose. For me, it's like a 2 out of 10. But for fans, I'm sure this is exciting. Certainly not my most anticipated video game. Like a Dragon, nope, don't care. It's a 2 for me, but again, I get that the series has a lot of hardcore fans. Awesome Tatum says he's at a 7 for Tekken. Grape King's excited for Tekken. I get it. Cooper is at a 5 for Tekken. Godslayer says Prince of Persia will be a failure. Oh, it might. It absolutely might. It wouldn't surprise me. I don't think it'll be a critical failure. And I don't know what the budget is for it, but it would not surprise me. Let's put it this way. I'm excited for it. And all I'm going to do is go subscribe to a month for Ubisoft Plus that'll let me play the new crew, which is excellent. Prince Persia, which I'm super excited for. Avatar, which I hear is really cool and beautiful, but after a couple hours gets really boring. I'll play that. And I actually hear that Assassin's Creed Mirage was really good. So fuck it. It's a good month or two. That's $30 for all those games. I don't need to own this shit. I need to own this fucking shit. Suicide Squad. Okay, let me ask you guys a question. Why in the fucking world would anyone at the moment rate Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League as one of their most anticipated games of the year? Now, I'm not saying it's going to be a bad game. I'm not saying it's going to suck like people in the chat like Eclipse says, I played the alpha, didn't like it. Savage may not have played it, said it's going to suck. I've heard people play it in the alpha and they said, it's repetitive, but it's a lot of fun. And that's all I expect from it. But if you are a goddamn one, and these guys' Game Rant, believe it or not, is like the second most popular fucking website for video games, which blew my mind. I didn't know they were a big deal. But if you have that much access and this is on your list, come on. How can we take you seriously? Fuck you. But maybe they know something we don't. Persona Reload, not for me. These games are too slow for me. Maybe I got to just stick it out. Scott Rohde of Sony would always tell me, he's like, did you do it yet? And I thought he meant, did I have sex with the old lady who worked at the front desk? Hurts to be so funny. He would always tell me, he says, Jaffe, you just got to stick with Persona 4, which was the gold one. Persona 4 is the gold one on Vita. He's like, you just got to stick with it for a few hours because it's so fucking good. And I tried, man. I fucking tried. And I just could not hang with it. It was like, you love it at Jules, the Jules department store. What? Fuck you. So I couldn't get into it. But I know people love it. It's not my most anticipated game. God, who made this list? An idiot? Yeah. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. No, I don't care. Fuck you. Princess Peach Showtime. Very interested in that. Very, very interested in that. I like the Nintendo games a great deal. I like Princess Peach. I like all the different outfits she's got. Looks like she comes with different powers with each outfit. I'm totally fucking in. I totally want to play this. Cooper says he's in at 8. Excited for Final Fantasy, the new one. Rob the Mod made this list. That's right. Should have been working on Monarch. Fuck. Awesome Tatum says he's a 4 on Final Fantasy. Bookster, you're a -50 for Princess Peach. What's the matter with you? What the fuck's look at this game. It looks fun. Anyway, whatever. Dragon's Dogma, that's an 8. Probably will go up. But what I've seen and what I know, I'm excited for this game. I agree. It's one of my most anticipated games of the goddamn year. Look at that. It looks really cool. It looks really, really fun. Black Myth Wukong. I hope it's not too hard for me. But she said, but I'm excited for this one. This looks beautiful from the moment I saw it. After they kind of pushed the camera in, I'm like, oh, it's not Diablo. This is really cool looking, and it's not just cool looking in terms of just its nice graphics and it looks like fun, but there's some really cool, imaginative creature design and character design in this game. So I'm all in. I'm day one on this unless the reviews come out and say this is the hardest fucking game ever fucking made. In that case, then go fuck themselves. Avowed, you don't know anything about it. I'm excited because the developer's great, and I'm excited because it's fucking free. It's on Game Pass. And it, maybe it's another home run for the developer. And if it is, then I'm excited. But if all you have to go on is what they've shown, it just looks kind of super generic, which I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a really good, deep game with deep systems and lots of choices, but we don't know what this is yet. Hades 2, I really, really liked Hades, but a little goes a long way. I still don't have the desire to jump back into this game. I think they needed to make a game in between Hades 1 and Hades 2, because I think people are kind of sick of this genre at this point. The first game was great. I'm sure this game's going to be great too, but I think they need something in between. Says Jaffe. Hellblade 2, I don't fucking know. I'm not going to get excited about it just because people are like, it's Xbox Game Pass. I love Game Pass, but I don't know what the fuck the game is. And I didn't play the first one. So maybe if you played and loved the first one, you'll be excited. But right now, based on what I know, which is basically nothing, Hellblade 2 doesn't really do shit for me, except I'm keeping an eye on it, but I don't know what it's going to be. Greedfall 2. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Go fuck yourself. Paper Mario. Isn't that terrible? What a terrible video game journalist I would be if I ever wanted to be a journalist. I never heard of that. Must be shit. I don't know what it is. It's a I don't know. It's boring. Paper Mario 1,000 Year Door. That's a remake. Go fuck yourself. Star Wars Outlaws. I'm excited. I'm excited for this. Even if all it is Far Cry Star Wars, I'm excited because I love that world. I'm not one of these people who have grown to hate Star Wars. I still love Star Wars. And I'm excited to have a big open world Star Wars to play in. So I'm down for this one. And there you go. Let's see. They want to know, which of these games are you most excited about? So for me, I'm going to click on the one I think I'll enjoy the most is between Prince of Persia and Star Wars Outlaws. But the one I'm most curious, interested, excited about is probably Black Myth. So I'm going to click on that. But my guess is the results, you're going to see most people excited on this list for either Final Fantasy or Star Wars. Let's see what we got. Here we go. Okay, Black Myth only has 4%. Star Wars has 28%. Final Fantasy has 16%. Yeah, I was exactly right. Number 1 and 2. Final Fantasy's number 2 at 16%, and 28% is Star Wars. Think about that. Think about that, my little friends. Let's move on. Hey, Cantankerous Games, I have to tell you. Sorry, I've been busy. The guy who I'm supposed to get you in touch with, which I'm not going to tell you, is on his year break vacation. He is back Monday. So I'm going to get all that going for you guys on Monday, but he's not in the office to talk about anything. So I talked to his assistant and they said, hey, he's back on Monday. He'll give you a call. So I'm looking forward to Indiana Jones 2, Duke, but I just don't know if it's coming out this year or what it is. It's not that I don't have... See, this is what I'm saying. If Bill Bones, if you're talking to me, Billy Bones, he says no love for Hellblade. Are you talking about me? I mean, it's got 3%, but I think maybe Hellblade will get a lot of love when they announce more about it. But it's just kind of like, nobody really knows what the fuck it is. Zip says, I'm pretty sure Outlaws will be delayed till 2025. Well, they even announced the other day, Disney blog kind of fucked up and announced that the game was coming out on Christmas time, 2024. And then Ubisoft kind of walked it back and said, well, it is just kind of somewhere in 2024. So it sounds like it's going to be this year, but I hope so. And there is a James Bond game in the pipeline, but I don't think that's this year. Okay. What is this? Let's talk about Kojima's new game. Kojima's new game sounds batshit. I did tell my therapist today, I says, I got to meditate more. And I really do. People are like, Jaffe, this has nothing to do with person. I know. My hat's hot. I got to shave my head again. It's getting crazy. Okay. Tatum says, Jaffe better have a cameo in God of War Remake. Dude, they ain't going to call me. Are you kidding me? And that's fine. I don't give a shit. I don't know anybody over there anymore. I know a few people. But I don't expect them, and I wouldn't expect them to call. They don't owe me a fucking phone call. So, yeah. Come on, man. Okay. Let's focus. Ooh, I'm all hyper. That horror game of yours still Vicky G or what? Master Luke, hey, buddy. Hey, are you around? Can I get some art from you? Can I pay you to do some more great art? If so, hit me up in the Discord. I want to talk to you. The horror game, what is Vicky G? What does that mean? Listen to this. Hideo Kojima, this is what's funny. This is coming at you from VG247. Kojima is talking about his new game that he... coming or what, says Master Luke. What? The one I'm going to play or the one I'm working on? I'm not really working on one right now, but I might be. Anyway, let me focus. Hideo Kojima, goddammit, was talking about Boktai, I think is how you say it. I don't know if you ever played this game. This was out on I think it was the Game Boy Color or Advanced Game Boy or one of those fucking things. And it was interesting. It was very, very interesting. It was, you know, you were a vampire killer, and in order, I think, like, if you didn't go out into real sunlight, or maybe you could trick it with a light, I don't know, just like a lamp or something, you would lose power and you would die and you would have a harder time. So it was designed to kind of get people to go outside, right? So he was basically saying, hey, this new game I'm working on, I'm excited because it kind of feels like a similar take or a similar kind of experience where people are like, this is so batshit crazy. We've never really heard of anything like this. Now, again, that Kojima, the only thing Kojima's better at than making weird games is building his own myth in the press. So maybe it's true, maybe it's not, but it's got a lot of people excited. And I'm excited. I'm curious what this fucking game is, especially with it's him and Jordan Peele. We'll fucking see what this is. But I like this. This is what he said. This is from the article. According to Kojima's tweet, the game Boktai didn't exactly go down great internally. For me, he says, the most experimental game was defeating vampires outside your house using actual sunlight around you. It was met with fierce opposition from the staff and even within the company. In that sense, OD, his new game, is just as different. Boktai would go on to earn good reviews for the most part. It even got a couple of sequels. My favorite part of the article, though, says there's a couple things. This writer is Connor McCarr. Sounds like a Star Wars character. He says he's talking about when Kojima unveiled this at the Game Awards. He says Kojima and director Jordan Peele massaged each other's creative intellects on stage in front of untold thousands in what can only be described as an avant-garde display of video game auteur exhibitionism. Here it comes. Jeff Keighley standing mere yards away. The video game industry's first ever Kojima praise cuckold. I love it. For a fun aside, the tweet in which Kojima commented on OD's particular level of countercultural appeal is, of course, swamped by folks with no idea that the vampire game he's talking about is something that was already made years ago. I haven't seen the tweet, but I guess what he's saying is when Kojima pitched this, people were like going, oh, that sounds great. You should make that. And it's like, motherfucker, I did make that, you piece of shit. But anyway, I'm excited. Will OD be on next gen? Godslayer, I don't know. I have no idea. I got the sense it's this gen. We know it's Xbox, so it's probably both. If it comes out, I mean, it's going to be on Game Pass, so what does it matter in the sense that if you own an Xbox or you own a PC or you get the new Xbox Pro, if they ever make that, or you get the Xbox X2 or whatever, it'll just work. So what's kind of fun about Xbox, like Steam, is the idea of this generation, that generation has kind of gone away. Like, I don't even think about generations when I play on Steam. I just fucking play, I fucking play video games, man. Jaffe, remember the developer convinced you to try his game Knights of the Al-Aqsa Mosque? You were playing as Hamas. You basically got finessed into joining Hamas. Do you renounce your Hamas ties? I do remember it. I absolutely remember it. I played it on stream. I gave him some feedback. There was nothing in the game other than the bad guys being the Israeli Defense, whatever they're called, IDF. But there was nothing in it that was like, here's a bunch of cutscenes or in-game storytelling about how much I hate Israel or whatever. And so I was just like, yeah, I mean, you know, you're whatever. If you want to make a game where the IDF is the bad guys, fine. I'll play it, give you my feedback. But no, I walked away from it after a while because it did seem a little, I don't know, man. I kind of stopped. It's not that I don't trust the guy anymore, but I didn't totally believe that it just, I don't know. I couldn't quite get my head around where he was going with it. And I was just like, yeah, I'll wait. Wait till it comes out. Godslayer says, Jaffe, what are your thoughts on Relic? It's an upcoming PS5 game. Relic? I don't know. Relic PS5. I'm not even sure if I know what this is. Relic, the First Guardian. I'm not going to watch the whole thing. I'll just skim through it. What is this game? Oh, it's just another third person. What is it, like Bloodborne or Souls shit? I mean, it looks cool. I'm down. Visually, it looks really good. Looks really good. Jesus. I mean, it looks like any other game in that genre, but That's cool though. It looks really visually great. I mean, is there anything special about it besides it just looks like a great version of next gen Elden Ring Demon Souls? Or but if you haven't seen it, look at your screen, look up from whatever you're doing, masturbating, and check this shit out because it is a really nice looking game. Cooper says there's way too many of these kinds of games and yet they all have such a huge fan base. True. Darth Nugget, I watched the segment of his stream about the Mickey game. I heard you going hard defending Adolf Mickey. I wasn't sold on the Nazi connection. I know. Oh God, you're talking about the Mickey Mouse game. Whatever. Okay. Yeah, it looks cool, man. It looks cool. It looks more like God of War, you think. Okay, I mean, either way, it does look interesting. And I love the vibe of it. I love these worlds that are kind of almost like fantasy versions of a Charles Dickens world. I'm a big fan. So yeah, thank you for putting this on my radar. It looks fucking cool. All right, let us move forward. Listen to this. Tell me if you agree. Like I said, we're talking all about 2024 on this stream today. Digital Trends wants you to know, by the way, CES is next week. I know that's not pure games, but we will be talking about it at least a couple of episodes of the morning show next week because I love seeing all the weird, wacky, cool new tech that comes out during CES. I'm super fucking excited for next week to see what we get to see. There'll be VR, they say, Donovan, but they say AI is going to be a big player next week at CES. So, I love that stuff, man. Okay, here we go. The 4 biggest predictions for what gaming is going to look like in 2024. Number 1, the big game cycle slows way down, they say. This is Digital Trends. The fact that Xbox's Starfield ended the year as a B game, they say, that didn't snag Game of the Year nomination speaks to what a jam-packed year it was. Don't expect that to continue in 2024, they write. Last year was COVID special case, blah, blah, blah. There was pile-up. The main reason, though, you should select a slowdown is due to the layoffs. The gaming industry shed thousands of jobs with entire studios getting shut down. No, idiot. The games were affected. Individual games were affected by people being laid off. Those games were probably canceled. But trust me, if there's a game coming out this year and the company believes in it, they won't lay off all those people. They're probably, when you get big layoffs like that, unless there's some just drastic thing like the studio shutting down, it's because they're in that kind of in-between state where they just shipped the product and they had to staff up like a motherfucker to get it out the door. And now they're in kind of like whether it's pre-production or they're rolling into production on a new game, it ain't shipping this year. So don't fucking sell these motherfuckers a lie and tell them the reason is the layoffs. That's horseshit. And you have absolutely no evidence of that. It doesn't make any sense what this guy's saying at all. Okay. Nintendo's next consoles take center stage. I don't really give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about this. I'm excited in the sense that sure, I'll probably buy it. I love Nintendo, but it's just, I don't know. I mean, who's really excited about a goddamn, what I don't, let me rephrase the question. Your Honor, I'll rephrase. Objection. I'll rephrase. Shut up. What are you going to get? Like with a new Xbox or PlayStation, because they put so much effort into the visuals, of course you can go, oh, this is exciting. We're going to see next-gen graphics. Great. But that's never been Nintendo's thing. And since we don't know if there's going to be any kind of thing that feels like a gimmick that becomes an undeniable need for game mechanics and gameplay creation, what's there to be excited about? You're going to get another fucking Mario and another Mario Kart and a Zelda. And I think that's great. I'm excited for it, but I don't understand why this is like a big news story for people that really fucking want. I don't know. Does anybody in the chat want this badly? Is this one of your big 4 predictions for next year? I think the new Switch is a Switch without the dock, but you can still play it on the big screen. Well, that's not really a new Switch then. I mean, that's cool. That's cool, but I mean, I'm assuming they're going to be given new hardware, right? PlayStation sinks, Xbox swims. Well, this will get some of you guys in the chat mad. Let's see what they say. PS5 and Xbox will celebrate their 4-year anniversary in November. Halfway point of the console cycle, maybe. That's a critical moment. It's a point where companies have burned through their most exciting launch window titles. 4 years is not a launch window, pal. And need players happy and hooked with consistent string of releases. All we know from Sony's release in the next 12 months is Last of Us Part 2 re-release, Helldivers, Final Fantasy Rebirth. Otherwise, the outlook is empty. Wolverine isn't expected to arrive this year. Xbox, on the other hand, is poised to push 2023 momentum. They got Hellblade 2, Avowed, Stalker 2. Bethesda and Activision are also putting out first-party releases, they feel. Not to mention Xbox might have new hardware on the way. So they think it's going to go Xbox this year. We'll see. I don't know. That'll be a hell of a comeback. Summer Game Fest takes E3's throne. It already did. It already did. Go fuck yourself. I don't care. I'm bored of that. I don't want to talk about that anymore. I don't know. What do I want to talk about? I'm going to be honest with you. I just want to talk. I don't want to talk about any of this right now. I'm over talking about this today. Not in general, just today. So if you guys want to hang out and just shoot the shit, I'll talk about anything. But I don't want to talk about these topics. I do want to show you this, though. Look at this. Look what's coming out. The goddamn Cockadoodie Clicks Creator Keyboard. You can get your iPhone 14, 15, or 15 Pro Max, and you slide it into this fucking thing, you got a keyboard. I'm not saying that this is something I want. It's kind of cool, though. Yeah, we'll talk about Saints Row, though. We'll talk about Saints Row. Here's what I want to say. So Saints Row comes out, and everybody shit on it, right? Everybody fucking shit on it. And I played it for about 10 hours on the stream. I liked it a great deal. I thought it was a lot of fun. And I was moved on with my life. I didn't think it was the game of the year, but I thought it was good. It was a fun game. And everybody was like, oh, this fucking thing is woke and it's a shit and blah, blah, blah. And so I was very surprised and interested to see this post on NeoGAF where somebody wrote, Fornius says, after playing Saints Row 2024 a bit, I must say, why the fuck did I listen to all of y'all online, yo? This game is fucking good. Not great, but good. And they're absolutely fucking right. They're absolutely fucking right. It's not, and this idea that it's like super woke, even though I am super duper progressive and I like a lot of the woke stuff, this was not that. I mean, it just wasn't. It was, I don't know, maybe you can blame the marketing. I have no idea. But, I don't think you can defend your position. In the chat, Wayne B says it's not. It's garbage. Okay, what is garbage about it? What is garbage about it? I'm not, Eric says hard pass. Okay, fine. But why? Why? Fuck you, Magnum. Calling yourself progressive is kind of lame. Guess what, Magnum? The only thing I am more progressive is a guy who doesn't give a fuck what you think is lame. The characters are fine. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just these, she's a hot chick, and there's some dudes who are hanging out in the church where they took over and live, and you're flying around killing all kinds of fucking people and shit. It's fun. It's fucking fun. Saints Row is awful. Shut up, Mike, you fuck. Bro, that wasn't us, says Random. The devs literally told us they were toning down the stuff they show. Is that poster huffing spray paint? I don't think so, Random. I played it. I played it on the stream. It was a fun game. It was not amazing. Okay, but Wayne B just says writing is trash. Okay, what's trash about it? Is this the discourse? I thought my audience here on the Gabbin' and the Games would be more articulate. I will respect your opinion if you can articulate it, but just to say the writing's trash, what's trash about it? What is trash? Eric says it's generic characters. Okay, like the characters in the Saints Row games are like deep as a fucking Marianas Trench. Terrible writing complaining about student loan debt. Why is that terrible writing? What? I mean, I'm not saying you can, I'm not saying you can't attack the writing, but because they're talking about they were annoying college students. I don't think you played this game. I don't think you played this fucking game. These were not annoying characters. I'm not saying they were the next Lara Croft or the next fucking, whoever. But what? They were fine. Brett Williams, thank you for the super chat, buddy. People just keep repeating the narrative they fed. I appreciate the super chat and I appreciate the sentiment. You're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong. And that's maybe the core of why this topic interests me. Because it's not so much that I need this game to succeed. I played it. Oh, fuck you, Mondo Zappa. You lack the knowledge of the history of the studio and their games and what made them popular. Bitch, I hired people from the studio at Bartlett Jones. I fucking know all about the goddamn Volition. Fuck you. And I also played Gat Out of Hell. And I also played, what was 3? 3 was Gat Out of Hell was the DLC from 3, and 3 was 3. And when you're in the White House eating pancakes in the morning, fuck you. I know all about this shit. Okay? And I get it. I get that this new one is absolutely not in the same over-the-top jackass vein. Okay, but it doesn't mean that just because it's not, it's fundamentally bad. It's just a little different. I didn't play it, says Eric. Of course, most people didn't. But the game seemed to occupy a space between Saints Row 2, more normal tone. I don't think Saints Row 2, did they have a normal tone in that? And Saints 3 craziness with some millennial pandering sprinkled in, but it was broken at launch. Well, most of the gamers who are buying the game ain't 40-somethings. I liked High on Life too, Max. I would get it if I had PS Plus. Yeah, if you have PS Plus, just get it and play it. And play it with an open mind. But I think that's the thing that really kind of bothers me. Is that gamers have gotten, I don't know, man. If you could articulate it, fuck you, young gold clown piece of shit. If they could articulate their issues, then I would say, oh, this is a discourse. This is awesome. I'm into this. I'm excited. But even if we disagree, that's why people get all surprised. Why are you going Colin's show? You don't agree with him politically? No. In a lot of ways, I don't. He doesn't agree with me politically, but we can have good conversations because we can both articulate and debate and discuss and have open minds about things. But these motherfuckers are, come on, don't you want better for yourselves? Don't you want to be able to articulate your position and dive into the medium you say you love and figure out why it works and why it doesn't, why it can be better, why things succeed and why things fail? Don't you have that desire deep in your nether regions where you feel a tickle or a little bit of a sunburst popping up in there and going, I want to fucking engage? Of course the game is worthy of it, you shithead. Game is not worthy, says Addy Pie. The most important games in a lot of ways to discuss the ones that people don't think are worthy. Not because you're wrong, although in this case you might be, but because why aren't they worthy? That in and of itself is interesting. Why did this game let so many people attack it without actually playing it? I'm interested. You should be interested too. I'm telling you what you should be interested in. Okay. God forbid there's a female in a game because the morons lose their shit, says Masochista. They never likes. I don't know if a lot of the. I think there's a lot of. Well, I don't want to get into it. We'll talk about it on tomorrow's show. Morgan, that's what I thought. Good. I'm so glad you're safe. What do you mean safe? What happened to Morgan? Oh, she was in Maui? What the fuck happened to Morgan? Come on now. I don't understand. I hope you're well. I hope she's okay. Shit. All right. Jaffe, even the reveal cinematic trailer showed so much backlash from fans. It had dozens of dislikes. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I don't think a percentage of this audience is going to be happy with a game unless it comes out and you're playing a fucking neo-Nazi and you're beating up every minority and you're running around talking like Beavis and Butthead. I think then they'll go, it's back. The games are back. This is what I wanted. Now, let's be clear. You can get those fucking games, by the way. You can get them on the internet. You absolutely can. I've been to their websites. They're depressing as fuck that there are people out there that really feel that way. But it's like, Jesus fucking Christ. Darth Nugget wants to have a German accent. Okay, fair enough. Fine. It is what it is. This is one of the reasons I don't want to work in games. I don't relate to today's gamers, as you can tell. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. And let's put it this way. My last game, Drawn to Death, yes, it did not get reviewed well. It did not do well. There are valid complaints about that game as it relates to the controls and this and that and the other. But my last game had cursing and sex and nudity and scat play. I mean, it was pretty fucking vulgar and close to being X-rated. And nobody showed up for it. So shut up, you fucking idiot. Yes, my last game bombed. How did your last game do, you fucking non-contributing zero? Oh, I agree, Addy Pie. You're not built for this era of gaming. Fine with me. Oh, Wallace, you're not wrong. The reviewers were offended by Drawn to Death. I was stunned. Well, it didn't have scat play, Witch X, meaning there was like butthole art that you could open up and poop would come out and stuff. I don't mean it was like a sexual thing. I lost my train of thought because I was thinking about scat play. But yeah, no, I can't relate to today's gamers. I don't want to. I have no interest in what they like. I love video games, man. I love them. I love them more now than I ever have. But I can't relate. I wouldn't want to make a game today. God, can you imagine me trying to make if they actually were dumb enough to give me $300 million and they says, Jaffe, you go make a game like God of War or something like modern God of War. You out of your fucking mind. Can you imagine how much money I would waste? I don't know what they want. I don't know what the fuck they want. Massachusetts says today's gamers love Fortnite and FIFA. Well, some of them do. Not you guys, though. You guys shit on that, too. Not you, but you know what I'm saying. Travis, thank you for the super chat, buddy. He says, it seems like the less people have saying their opinions, the further down their noses are looking. Arrogant, ignorant pricks. I think it's the school system. That's what I fucking think. I think it's the goddamn school system. Kids, they don't fucking show up to class and they debate the Scarlet Letter. They don't debate, stem cell research. They just fucking, the teachers are too scared to say anything. I don't fucking know what it is, but it makes me mad. Shut up, PG. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. Okay. Have you played Phantom Abyss? No, but I think, Miguel, that's the game I was talking about where I look at Stellar Blade and I say that game, kind of feels like it could be a Bloodborne, not in terms of pacing, but like a quality game like that, or it could be the game you're talking about. What is it again? I already lost the title. Where'd it go? Where'd it goddamn go? The goddamn thing you just mentioned. Fuck, Jaffe, you fucking dementia-addled motherfucker. What was it? Miguel's Phantom Abyss. In Phantom Abyss, the one with the lady who's running around with shooting and swords and shit. Right? In that, let me look that up. It was an Xbox exclusive, right? Phantom Abyss. Fuck you. I'm in a bad mood. I'm not even in a bad mood. Oh wait, you don't mean this. This? I played this. I thought Phantom Abyss was something else. No, this is different. I played this. I thought it was very interesting. It was kind of like an asymmetric Indiana Jones kind of thing. Phantom Dust is what I was thinking of. Right. No, I played it. I didn't care for it all that much. Brett Williams, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Let's be honest. Worrying about the opinions of bottom feeders is what's making games worse. It's art. It's not for the ignorant, never has been. I just wish people could talk and we could debate and discuss stuff. I mean, there are people out there I can do it with, and I do, and I appreciate those opportunities, but it is weird. K-Nub says, hey, I was listening from the shower over the Saints Row talk. Not saying I agree one way or another, but an interesting YouTube video talking about millennials being terrible writers is why Saints and Tiny Tina were bad. Okay, I mean, I'm not going to throw every millennial under the bus and say they're all bad writers, but I mean, maybe that's accurate. I hadn't seen the video. Ice Cream Con says, Jaffe, look at the Twisted Metal community. Everyone playing freaking Twisted 2 and T and Black on streams with a lot of people. After that, I don't believe a video with 500,000 views titled Vehicle Combat Dead. I think you would have to show me a lot of people on those streams. Send me a link. I don't think a lot of people is what Sony considers a lot of people. Okay, Magnum says, whenever you debate, you say shut up. Okay, again, it's a generational thing. I don't literally mean shut up. I'm being passionate and cheeky and charming and charismatic and sexual. I'm fucking around, but the essence is correct. What I'm saying, and I mean, it's correct. That's your mileage will vary if it's correct or not. But what I'm saying is truthful to me. But yeah, I'm kind of, I'm doing a fucking stream. I'm not going to be like, let's talk quietly about, come on, you got to get a little juice, baby. You got to live a little fucking juice, baby. How many people listen to Jaffe in the shower? That's true. It's weird, man. Thank you for going on Colin's show, says Travis. People spend too much time in echo chambers. Yes, they do. It's terrible. It's bad for us. Jaffe, you were saying you think Kratos is not a compelling character without his background. So what do you think the TV series will choose to start his story? I have no idea. I don't know where they'll start it. I would hope to God that Corey or whoever is involved, the PlayStation production guys, do not let it become what it so easily could become, which is this laborious, super serious Last of Us, which I like a lot, the Last of Us show. I'm not knocking the show. But I don't want to see God of War that way. And I have a feeling that's probably where they might take it. Not because I know anything, because that's kind of where the games have gone. Addie Pie says, thank you, buddy, for being a member for 8 months. Why you're still here, I don't know, but I'm grateful you are. Thank you, buddy. He says, I'm glad you know about the overabundance of woke crap in games today. Diversity has always existed. It's shit today because it's shoved in your face. Well, again, I'm not going to go in with you on that take, buddy. I think what you're not including in your argument is the idea that while maybe you didn't feel diversity was shoved in your face, and I believe that's probably true, you also didn't have a lot of people who were not represented in the mainstream pushing back for a variety of reasons. So just because it wasn't in your face, and I don't know if you're a white guy or what you are, but I'm a white guy or a white passing guy, according to some people. And I will tell you that for me, I always saw myself reflected on screen in games. So it never occurred to me. But that to me is why it didn't feel force-fed, because it wasn't that out there. But I think it's good that diverse people are saying, hey, we want our representation too. I think that's fantastic. Hey, look at that. Slow Loris. I don't even know what to do with that name, Slow Loris. Slow Loris. It's good to see you, buddy. Thank you so much for joining the goddamn cult of Calypso. Here you go, baby. This goes out to you. This comes from my heart to your soul.
How dare you?
Oh, I shiver when I say that. Thank you, Slow, buddy. I really do appreciate that support. It also entitles you as a cult of Calypso member. Saturday's show, Gabbin' and Games, we will be bringing on cult God of War members and mods to discuss a hot topic. I don't know what the topic is yet, but it'll be the big topics of the week, and you'll be able to put yourself in the call-in waiting room, and it will just be a potpourri. Get up there, Ace. It's okay. A potpourri of debate and discussion. So hopefully we'll see you there on Saturday. But thank you for that support, Slow. I appreciate that, bud. Member for 8 months, Addy Pie. I already read that. Fuck you, Addy Pie. Okay, I love you too, Slow. Yeah, it's streamed for everybody, yes, but you can't go into the conversation roundtable for that part unless you are a, one of those members. Darth Nugget says, I don't play Spider-Man and think, hey, that's me, or Mario, or whatever. No, I won't cut the shit with I feel seen. Let's deal with this real quick once and for all right now. Darth Nugget or Addy Pie, are you white or are you a person of color? That's number one. I need to know that. Or do you pass as white? That's what I would like to know. And I'm not saying every black person, every Latino person, every Muslim person who was born in the Middle East is dying for representation. I understand there are people who don't care who are also in those non-represented groups, okay? But what I'm not going to do is tell you that the people who are saying, and I got 2 of them yesterday on my stream, who said, I'm annoyed at Prince of Persia because it's clearly not a Persian guy, and his brother is clearly not a Persian dude in terms of name. And I had another person say, it's great to actually see myself in fucking video games. So here's what I'll say. If just because it doesn't apply to you, guess what? It doesn't apply to me either. But I'm not going to deny the people who say it matters to them. And nor should you. How dare you? More importantly,
How dare you?
why would you deny that? Is their annoyance relevant? Yeah, it's relevant because people who make creative work are sensitive artist types. Sorry, but we just are. And also, there's a big audience. So people who fund the creative types work want to sell to as many people as they can. So if it doesn't bother you as a whatever you are to play a game where you're Yoshi because you're not green and you're not a dinosaur, or it doesn't bother you to play Lara Croft because you're not a woman, well, why does it bother you to play a black dude or a lesbian or a millennial? What the fuck? It's not about you buying it, Darth Nugget. That is the height of arrogance, man. He says, I don't have a problem with diversity in games. I just don't buy the I need to see myself in them shit. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of shit I don't agree with or buy, but I'm not arrogant enough to say someone who has lived that experience is just wrong and I'm just right. Just because it doesn't work for you, that's fine. I respect that. It doesn't matter to you. But are you just saying that you're right and everyone else is wrong? The ones who are saying that representation does matter? I don't understand how you could come to that conclusion unless you're just a total narcissist. Hey, Stoner Joe. Thank you, buddy. He says, hey, Donald Trump, DT, D4, T letter of the alphabet, 420. Then Joe Biden, 420 Joe, Stoner Joe. Next election, y'all know who hate me can suck it. Nobody hates you here, Stoner Joe. We think we're fascinated by you, and sometimes we worry about you, but we love you. I'd vote for you. I'd vote for you before I vote for Trump. You goddamn right. Okay. CR3D says, I get representation when you're role-playing, but a game like Tomb Raider, God of War, that's ridiculous. The point is to experience. Yeah, no one's saying that those games need. No one is saying. Okay, I know. I'm with you 100%. Nobody's saying that Kratos or Lara Croft or Tifa or any of these people need to be something else. Yeah, you play a game to experience their experience. That's great. But same thing with people who are complaining about diversity. Miles Morales sold more than 10 million copies via phone. I think if you go look at those leaks, you will see that. Also, Miles Morales has been out a much less amount of time. And I don't think, was Miles Morales even on PS4? It might have been, though. But I mean, okay, but let's put it this way. If I want to get off this topic, I really did not mean to come into this topic, but so what you're saying is Miles Morales sold 10 million copies. I think it was a better game than Spider-Man. Spider-Man sold more, the first one. And you're saying what? That's because Miles Morales was black? I mean, is that what you're saying? So you're basically saying then you can play Yoshi, you can play a woman, but you can't play a black guy? I'm not entirely sure I understand your point. Okay. What happens when you have too many of those games and their writing relies on tropes? Then don't buy them, man. Don't tell me what leads to shallow writing. You know what leads to shallow writing? Shallow writing. I'm gonna say this one more time before I say it again. And here's what it is. I forgot what I was going to say. I'm going to say this one more time. A lot of people seem to think, that, and I've said this before, but it's like you guys aren't listening, that most art or creative art, Eric says people didn't buy Forspoken because she was a black woman or because most people played the demo and thought, I've played it a million times. Most people think that art is created in this perfect vacuum where the artists show up and it's like a Disney movie with the fucking Snow White animals flying around and it's just peaceful and roses and they just make exactly what they want. That doesn't happen. Movies are rewritten because a certain star agrees to star in it. Okay. And the studio wants the star. So they go to the writer and say, well, if you won't change it, this writer will, because we're more interested in that star than we are your vision. Video games are greenlit because marketing says, I don't want that. I don't want that. That won't sell. I can't sell that. That's a lot like Call of Duty, but it's got a little bit of a twist. Fuck it. That gets a green light. You act like these games are shat out pure from, the buttholes of Corey and Neil and Todd Howard. And there's no one that is pulling the strings at the financial level that determines a lot of the direction of these fucking things. So I'm sorry, but if you think being forced to put a black dude in a game is poor writing, fine. Then you know what else is poor writing? Being forced to do anything that doesn't come directly from the main creatives of the team. And that, by the way, doesn't fucking exist. Mr. 2 Opinionated, thank you for the super chat. He says, here you go. I don't know if you're a black guy or not, but whatever you are, he says, seeing someone like me feels nice. Now, I don't discredit Darth Nugget's take that he doesn't give a shit about it, but I also don't discredit Mr. 2 Opinionated's take that for him, it matters. Why can't we just accept that for some people it's important and, for some it's not, and move on with their fucking lives. I played the demo of Forspoken. It was fine. But I didn't want to own it. I got my fill. The parkour was really good. But I didn't need another big open world fucking collectathon game if that's what it was. And if it wasn't, that's kind of what it looked like. This is the thing, Twisted Sith. He says, thank you, Jaffe. On behalf of all white people, we truly thank you for saving all minorities. Everything is a talking point with you guys. Can you think for your fucking selves? I don't have white guilt. I'm not trying to save minorities. I'm just trying to use whatever influence I have and had when I was making games to be a nice fucking guy and to be a caring, compassionate human on the planet trying to get by like everybody else. That's all I'm fucking trying to do. Stop attaching all this horse shit to it. White guilt is what it is. Fuck you, I don't have white guilt. I'm not trying to save anybody. I'm just trying to be a good human. Eric says, you know what else was poor writing? Slavery. Well, that's absolutely true. Godslayer says, for example, Immortals of Avium failed miserably. Yeah, but I don't know what your point is, because I don't think that was a character that was a minority character, was it? All right. I didn't want to make this political. I really don't want to make it political. I'm sorry about that. Do you think you should have white guilt? No, I don't. I think you should have human guilt if you've done something shitty, but I don't feel guilty for being white. I mean, why would I feel guilty about it? It's a ridiculous concept. Jaffe says, Eric, can you explain how a game like Ghost of Tsushima can cost $80 million and Spidey 2 costs $300 million? They don't seem that far apart. Well, what I can tell you is that, again, if I say this a lot because I was so glad to see it in the leaks, that the Insomniac team, a lot of them anyway, are saying, hey, we should not be making $300 million games. The audience, most people in the audience don't notice it. We can make $250 million or $300 million games, and 90% of the audience would respond to it in the exact same way. So I'm with you. I couldn't, it's probably the team is more expensive. LA, which is where a lot of them live, are a lot more, the cost of living is a lot higher. You have the Marvel license you have to pay, where Tsushima doesn't. You probably had a lot more characters that really needed performances versus evil enemy number 16, right? You had a lot of speaking parts and writing. And so I would say that's probably where it went. Plus you've got a lot of people that made Spider-Man 1 the great game it is. And so they're probably negotiating going, okay, well, I'm happy to make Spider-Man 2, but, hit me up with a raise, bitch, because I ain't going to stick around here when I'm being courted by every video game company in the world. I'm not going to stick around for the same salary. Dev cost in LA is cheaper than Seattle, but I thought that Sucker Punch is Sucker Punch in Seattle? I don't know if I agree with that. Let's find out. Cost of living. You might be right though. I don't know. Cost of living in LA versus Seattle. I spelled Seattle wrong. Fuck you. You would need $8,700 in LA to maintain the standard of life that you can have with $9,000 in Seattle. You need less. Wait, if you have $9,000 in Seattle, yeah, it's cheaper in LA. Not by much, but it is. It's cheaper in LA. You're right about that. Okay. Snowfly says Spider-Man 2 doesn't feel like a $300 million game. What the fuck? I'm just telling you what they said. Good God. The games I'm loving right now, the game I'm playing a lot right now, you literally are a bouncy ball in a game called Bang 'em Balls. It's a great fucking game. 3D platformer. So I don't need my games to feel like they're 300 million. But if you do, you're probably a better judge of it than I am. Oh, I agree with that, Brandon. Brandon says Dead Space Remake is the best looking game graphics-wise. I don't know if it's the best, but boy, that's a great, beautiful, evocative visual game. I love that fucking remake. I think Eric says, so the solution is to change the scope or fire expensive devs or replace them with AI. I think it's a little bit of all of it. Yeah, Morgan, I did see that 3D Realms lost a bunch of people. It's all that Embracer shit. They jumped in without studying the market. It's starting to look like, and that's what you get. It's tragic. Hopefully those people made a lot of money in the first acquisition, though. Jack Kelly says, Spidey's the only game I've played that felt like it used the SSD for gameplay. Well, I'll tell you what, then you should play Ratchet & Clank, man. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart uses it, and it's fucking crackerjack shit, man. It's wonderful. Fucking wonderful. All right, fellas. Well, look, I did not mean to go on a tear on this stream. I really didn't. I show up and I try to just, I get it. People don't want to be yelled at, and they don't want the debate. You know, people want to just settle in for an evening and chat about games and shit. I fucking try. But, you know, I don't know. It just happens. And I apologize. I'm going to try to get better at it in the new year. That's my New Year's resolution. I don't mind talking politics, but there's a time and a place for it. And I just, you know, I got to get better at it. Twisted says, I love it when you yell. I'm hard as a brick right now.
Don't suck a big fucking dick.
Well, my favorite fast food joint is, I mean, the best French fries on the planet are Chick-fil-A, but I won't eat there anymore, obviously. Don't get me fucking started. But I grew up with Chick-fil-A in Alabama, and I loved their fucking waffle fries. But since I don't eat there anymore, we have a restaurant here in the West. I don't know if it's countrywide, called Rubio's, which is Mexican. I really like, hello, Spazbo. I like Rubio's. I like McDonald's French fries. Yeah, that's what I would say. Do you tip well in your DoorDash? Oh yeah, I totally. I mean, I tip 15%, and most of the things I order are around here, so it's like, you know, blocks away. And most of my orders, because I'm ordering for the family, are, you know, probably $40-50. So to pick up a block away from Taco Bell and come here, it's pretty good tip. Absolutely. Of course. Yeah, I just give the tip. That's right. Fellas, that's been Gabbing and Games. I don't want you to forget tomorrow, seriously, that we have this going on. Tomorrow morning at about 10 to 10:30. I don't know when I'm going to start it up. Just depends on the day. Depends when I go to bed tonight. I know that's terrible, but I'm getting more consistent. You got to give me some props. This will be happening. Where'd it go? Good Morning Gaming, our morning show. It's more about pop culture, video games, mostly geek stuff. And Godslayer saying, Jaffe, when is I Love the Weird? I'm actually going to start. I'm going to start putting the I Love the Weird topics into Good Morning Gaming as well. So towards the back end, we'll get into some of the weird topics and shit, right? So I'll give you an example of what. Let me tell you one of the topics that may be on tomorrow's Good Morning Gaming if you're into that sort of thing. Listen to this. Okay, so this one's pretty amazing. This is where did it go? The U.S. military had tech in Iraq to make them hear the voice of God in their heads telling them to surrender. I'm not fucking with you. There's actual tech that they use, voice to skull technology. That'll be one of the topics we discuss on the end of Good Morning Gaming, because it's still going to be mostly gaming, but at the end, we're going to get into that stuff. The other one is, somebody in the chat was asking about, what's the guy's name? David, the UFO guy, the UAP guy, whatever the fuck the guy's name is. I saw an interview last night with him from the 70s. I think it was like the 70s. And David Grush, right. And no, it wasn't Grush. It was the other guy, the other famous guy with glasses who says he worked at Area 51. And he's kind of, some people believe him, some people don't. He's in all the movies. What's the guy's name? You know the guy I'm talking about. Lazar, maybe it's Bob Lazar. Anyway, and he was being interviewed, and this was back in the 70s, and somebody asked him about this religious thing that he knew. Have you seen this clip? And he says, well, he saw this document, and in the document, it was all about the governments or the old governments or the aliens or whoever instigating religion. And the interviewer's like, I don't understand why. And he said, religion exists, according to the document that he saw, because the powers that be, whatever they are, want to protect the containers, is what he said. I'll show you this clip tomorrow. And the interviewer's like, well, what are the containers? And he says, we are. And he says, well, what do you mean? What's in the containers? And he says, I don't know. I never found that out. Is it our brain? Is it our soul? Is it just like our guts that they use for, like the Matrix as batteries? I don't know. But the only reason religion exists and was created, he said, according to what he saw, this government document, was to make sure people protected each other, or people didn't hurt themselves as much and wanted to, have a value on life so the containers could be protected. Now, is this real? Probably not, but the interview's real. And there are a lot of people out there saying that this is a guy who a lot of his claims have been sort of proven out. Don't roll your eyes, PG. I'm bringing it up. Don't roll your eyes like some kind of contrarian fuck who doesn't believe in anything. You got to stop all that shit. There is no right or wrong. There is no far left or far right when it comes to this shit. We don't know what's true. Okay? You, just like the atheists who are like, oh, all the religious people are idiots. Yeah, there's a lot of stupid people who practice religion and believe it hook, line, and sinker. But you also, unless you're a goddamn agnostic, you don't know shit either. Nobody knows what's going on. So let's just be okay being ignorant about it. That's why I said the old government's Vita phone, and I said it could be aliens. I'm not supporting it. I'm not supporting his claims. I'm telling you, I'm going to play the clip of his claims. I think they're interesting. Jack Kelly says a lot of what Bob Lazar has claimed so far has come true. So he can either tell the future or he's telling the truth. Right? All right. I will show you the clip tomorrow. You got it, Mr. K. Fellas, thank you so much. New members, welcome. Lurkers, thank you for hanging out with us. I appreciate it, man. I hope we've made your day a little bit brighter. Members, same to you, and thank you so much for supporting the show and hanging out with me and spending some time debating, discussing, arguing, and just enjoying the world of the video games. I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow on tomorrow's show. Good Morning Gaming, 10 o'clock, 10:30, what have you. It'll be on the Twitter. Until then, be well, be safe, and thank you, everybody. I will see you guys soon. Well, now the music should have kicked in, but you know what? Fuck you, man. It's a one-man band. Boom.